What's up, Cubers? This is Demetries Roubixcube, and this is the Demetries Roubixcube Show. Welcome back to another episode. Wow, crazy. Episode 2. It feels like I was just recording episode 1 yesterday. This week's gone by so fast, which I'm so thankful for because it's been a really boring week, and I'm glad it's going by fast. I don't want to jinx anything, but it's going by really fast for me, personally. But yeah, let's just get right into it. Today's show, we will be structured by, we're going to talk about mental health today, and specifically suicide and the impacts that has. I want to talk about it more on this show because I'm a big advocate for it. I think mental health is extremely important, and it's just something I feel strongly about because I've struggled with it in the past. Still struggle with it today with mental health issues, and I know millions and millions and millions of people do. So yeah, I just kind of want to talk about it. As always, if you are uncomfortable with it or just don't want to listen to it, then just feel free to skip into the episode. But let's just get right into it. First of all, I just want to say rest in peace to Marshawn Keeland. It's really sad what happened. I remember being really devastated reading the news topic. It's really sad, devastating. He was on my team, so of course it makes it a little more sad. Just had a touchdown against the Cardinals a couple of nights before that. His first career touchdown. So at least he got was something to be remembered by, and be remembered by more than just his family and friends and everybody in his life. It's really sad. Prayers out to his family, his girlfriend and his friends, everybody that was close to him, his teammates, everybody that was close to him. It's really sad. It just shows you that, it shows you just, you never truly know what people are going through. That's kind of why I want to talk about mental health today, and talk a lot about it today. So we're going to start off with some research I've done. I've gone on different websites and just kind of done my own research because, for one, I was curious about it, and for two, I thought it'd be a good topic to talk about on this show. So I'm just going to give you some background research, as I always try to do with this stuff. That way, it's factual and stuff, and I try to go on different websites so I know I'm actually getting the truth to fact check that one website. Because, it's important to have, research and actual factual evidence of what you're trying to prove and talk about. So, studies show that over 48,000 of Americans died by suicide in 2024. The highest it has ever been. The top 3 states with the highest rate highest rate in 2025 of suicides is Alaska, Montana, and Wyoming. Alaska had 28.2 suicide rate per 100,000 people in 2024. Montana had 26.6 suicide rate per 100,000 people. Wyoming had a suicide rate of 26.3 per 100,000 people, which is honestly crazy. That I was not expecting those 3 states when I looked that up. Those 3 states to lead the nation in suicides. So it's insane. Men die by suicide more than women, and this is the saddest one that kind of really made me sad. A person dies by suicide approximately every 43 seconds in the world, and a person dies of suicide every 11 minutes in the United States. So, it's just crazy doing this research. I knew it was bad. Suicide rates were up and just bad. Well, I was not expecting it to be that bad. It's insane. That's why I want to talk about it, because I've always been big on this stuff. Well, I just think the first thing to talk about is the top 3 states. It's crazy. Like I said, I was not expecting that. I did some research about that. I didn't get too much into why those 3 are the biggest states in suicide attempts and deaths. It said a lot about not having a lot of job opportunities, not having a lot of opportunities, being hard to live there, which I can totally see for Wyoming because, I mean, you come here and sure, there's a lot of opportunities for like an oil field or stuff like that. But if you're not in that stuff, it's kind of hard to like find a job here, in my opinion, from what I've seen. You might think it's incredibly easy to, and like that's your opinion and stuff. But from what I've seen and have had to deal with, it's pretty hard here. So that was one of the biggest things. And then, you know, just the normal stuff, especially in the teen deaths, you know, with the cyberbullying, the just bullying face to face, just really nasty things that are happening. And that's what I really want to dive into because I've noticed this a lot. You know, being a high school student, going to Kelly Walsh, I've noticed a lot of nasty behavior, and it's just really, really depressing and sad. So I'm just going to get into that. Today, I saw, we have a school story, which, by the way, if you go to KW and you're listening to this right now, I'm just going to say it. The school story is pointless on Snapchat. Extremely pointless. I'm probably going to leave it, to be honest with you. Extremely pointless. There's never any good information on there. It's a student ran thing, so it's really hard to take it down. But it's a student ran thing, and it's just it's so pointless. I feel like a school story should be something that, you know, should keep you informed on stuff, like informed on days, spirit days, you know, if we have a change schedule that day, fire drills and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And it's just not that. It is just a lot of bullcrap. I'm just going to say it is a lot of bullcrap on there. And I hate it. I absolutely hate it. But sadly, I don't think we'll be able to get rid of it because it is a student ran thing. It's not affiliated with the school, which is really sad because it's just pointless and it hurts a lot of people. There's constantly fights on there. There's constantly people just on there being nasty at each other, calling each other names, racial slurs, and just all that stuff. And it's really annoying and frustrating. I always say it, like, if you want to post that stuff, post it on your own story. Like, don't go posting that on the school story. Like, I'm sorry, but nobody cares. Like, nobody cares about your fight with somebody or somebody did this to you. Nobody, like, I'm sorry. If you want people to care, then go talk to your friends about it. I shouldn't say nobody cares, 'cause that sounds a little rude, but not everybody cares. You know what I mean? Not everybody cares. Okay, you can talk to people that probably care, like your friends, your parents, stuff like that, but not the whole world has to know about your issues or what's going on with you, especially on the school story, because you already know there's going to be rude people on there that are just like, shut up, shut up, shut up, and just call you names and all that stuff. And so I never got why people post their personal lives on the story, but I mean, it's whatever. It's not even that's the most nasty part. It's just the people that are fighting on there and start a bunch of drama with people, calling each other names. And then I love the people that are like, oh, it's stupid to post on the school story. You're stupid. Stop posting all this random BS on the school story as they're posting something on the school story. Like, it's crazy. It's ironic. It's like, oh, okay, so you don't want people posting on the school story, but you're posting on the school story about that person posting on the school story. Oh, stop with the drama, but you're adding on to the drama. You know what I mean? I've gone way off topic with that. Holy crap, I've gone way off topic. But, yeah, it's really nasty, the behaviors I see, not even just in teenagers and adults, just the amount of rudeness I see on a daily basis to people. People just being really rude, genuinely rude to each other. And I feel like that's a big advocate of suicide, is other people. You do have your mental illnesses and all this stuff that lead to it, but a lot of it is, in my opinion, just people, other people that have pushed you to that edge, have like made you to feel like you don't belong, made you hate yourself, made you all this, because people are nasty. I've experienced that. People are extremely nasty, and that's a big advocate, I feel, of suicide, especially in teens, because the teen suicide rates are insane too. And people are always just like, oh, well, I didn't mean it. It was a joke. It was a joke. It might have not been a joke to that person. You know, especially if it's a random person. If you're going up and saying that to a random person, like I've seen people do in the hallway, like you don't know what that person's going through. That person could already be on the edge and hating themselves and feeling lonely and hopeless. And then you go up there and make fun of their outfit or make fun of the way they dressed or, oh my gosh, you stink or something like that, you know? Like, you can have that opinion, that's fine, but keep it to yourself, you know what I mean? Or don't talk about it right in front of them. If you want to go jabber about it and you feel good about that, then you feel good about talking behind somebody's back, then go talk behind somebody's back. Just don't do it in front of that person. That's what I've always, been really angry about. And I'm not the best. Everybody judges. That's just how the world is. But I've been trying not to, because I was like that there for a while. And that's why I hated myself a while for it, to be honest. Because I learned it was wrong, you know, you shouldn't judge somebody, and that's what I had to learn. Part of it was also, you know, being a judgy 13, 14-year-old that judges everything everybody says, you know what I mean? But I feel like now that I've grown up, it's been a lot better, and I've just been pushing myself to be better about it every day, pushing myself to be kind to people even when they're... Well, okay, that's another thing, is I can be rude to people, and I'll admit that, but that's really only if they're rude to me. You know what I mean? Which isn't a good thing either, and I'm trying to work on. It's just sometimes I can't help it, and that's okay, because that's something I know I need to work on. And I feel like that's a big thing with all this stuff, is people are just so stuck in their own ways. You know what I mean? They're so stuck with, oh, I'm fine. You know, I'm a perfect person. I'm going to go places. I'm going to do all of this. I don't need to improve at all. And that's just such a negative mindset to have, in my opinion. Such a negative mindset. And honestly, if people looked in the mirror, I guess, and was like, you know what, maybe I can do something better today. I can strive myself to be better. And I know it's hard. I know it's extremely hard to want to be better. And or to fight to be better, you know, because I'm sure everybody wants to be better. You'll have your people, I guess, that don't want to, but all in all, I feel like most people, their life's goals is to get better at their respective thing. But yeah, getting way off topic with this, but it's okay, because that's what I have a show for, so I can get off topic, without having to feel embarrassed by talking to somebody. But overall, it's just really sad topic, you know. That's why I always ask people if they're okay, no matter if I know them or not, if there's, you know what I mean, if they, people post stuff on their stories and stuff, or their Instagram notes, and I always, doesn't matter who it is, hate you, love you, I'm still going to check up on you, because I feel like that's the right thing to do, no matter what. So I always try to, when I see stuff like that, or heard about stuff like that, always make sure the person's okay. And I feel like if we all did that, and instead of just saying, you're crazy, go to the loony bin, we're going to lock you in a room. You know what I mean? And people are they can go to therapy. Well, I hate to break it to you, but this economy is not the best. And everything's expensive, including healthcare and therapy for people. A lot of kids and stuff can't really afford it. And yeah, sure, there's Medicaid and all this stuff and insurance. But a lot of people, that costs money too. You know what I mean? Insurance costs money too. So not a lot of people can afford it. Which is why I think, I'm not saying, you know, free medical care. No, that's not a great idea either. I'm saying cheaper medical care would be nice. But yeah, I just hate when people are like, oh, they can just get a therapist. Some people can't, actually. Some people just literally can't, because they don't have the budget for it. They don't, or their parents don't listen to them if they're a kid, you know? And they just say, no, you're fine, you're a kid, what do you got to worry about? Which, I mean, it's true in some aspects, you know, because obviously being an adult in a lot of cases is harder than being a kid, but, you know, there is still hard moments of being a kid, you know, there's a hard moment in every time of your life. But yeah, that's pretty much for that topic. Just make sure, check on everybody. Marshawn Keeneland is a great example if you never know what somebody's going through. So always check on people. Stick by the people you love. Make sure they're doing okay. Yeah, just check up on them every once in a while. Make sure they're doing okay. But yeah, I went way off topic with that and way over the time I wanted to, but it's whatever because I don't really have a time limit in these episodes. I like to keep them like 30 minutes, like max, but I have a feeling this episode will probably go off that. That's okay. If you're still around, thank you for sticking around. My leg is like falling asleep right now and it's really bothering me. But yeah, thanks for sticking around. If you like the videos, the podcast, just like and subscribe. I mean, you don't have to. I'm not going to be like, you have to like and subscribe. I can't hold a gun to your head and be like and subscribe. So, I mean, it's all based on what you want to do. But it would help me out a lot. It would show me that people actually listen to these and I'm not just wasting my time. But I honestly don't feel like this is wasting of time a lot, even no matter how many people watch it, because it gives me a voice out. And even if there's 3 people watching it, then at least I know 3 people heard me and heard my voice, which is one of my main goals of this whole show. Anyways, let's get on to some current news topics. I don't know how many of you saw, but the government shutdown could end today with the vote. Actually, when I wrote this down on my planning sheet for the episode, they had not voted yet, but they do plan to end the government shutdown. The Democrats and Republicans are negotiating a funding package deal. President Trump says he would then pass the bill pretty much as soon as it got voted in. This will be good. I'm getting a little sick of this government shutdown. It doesn't really affect me that much, but I know people that it does affect, and with like food stamps and all that stuff. And yeah, it's not good. It's not a good look on America either, especially this being the longest government shutdown in our history. You can blame who you want on it, but at the end of the day, it's everybody's fault, to be honest with you. Like, you can blame the Dems, you can blame the Republicans. At the end of the day, it's just people not being able to put their political differences aside and think about the best for the country, and that's what's ruining the country right now. That's one of the main reasons the country is going downhill the way it is. It's just people putting themselves and their own personal preferences before this country and just being unpatriotic and un-American. I'm just going to say it. But yeah, I'm going to look that up real quick, see if anything got passed. They're still voting because I haven't checked in a minute. Yep, they sent it to his desk. Yep, Congress sends bill ending longest government shutdown in history to Trump's desk. House passes deal to end longest government shutdown. Trump to sign it tonight. So the government is reopened. For those of you who followed that, I know this will be like 2 days after. You'll be like, well, duh, we all saw that. But yeah, I'm glad that got taken care of. I don't really got much thoughts on that, to be honest with you. Tell you what I do got thoughts on, though. This is insane when I saw it. Zoran Mamdani, I don't even know how to say it. That's how crazy this is, was elected mayor of New York City. So, people are going to disagree with me on this, but this is absolutely absurd and crazy to me. We're letting a socialist communist, he literally came out and said, yeah, I'm a socialist. He's not even a socialist, he's just a communist at this point. He literally came out and says, I'm a communist, and this is what I'm going to do. And people are still okay with it, even though those are the same people that are like, oh, we don't want Trump running it. He's a communist, or he's trying to make this a democracy. Or not a democracy, sorry, we are a democracy, don't Demetries. A monarchy, or an authoritarian, or all this stuff. No kings. Then we're going out and protesting over stuff we don't even know what we're protesting about. We just heard other people on TikTok doing it, and like we always do, we just follow people on TikTok without doing our own research. I mean, say what you want, but you know I'm right, and it's true. I'm just shocked. I'm shocked what this country is coming to with this. And it's crazy. The same people voting for him are the same people that are always like, oh, we don't want a communist in charge or a king. We're a democracy. We're proud people. Same people voting him in. So, yeah, I wonder how that's going to work out for them. I mean, say what you want about New York City, it's still one of our cities, America's biggest city. Also, he's not even from this country. So that's great, right? We're letting somebody run the biggest city in the United States that's not even from this country and is Muslim, which, you know what, I don't really care at this point. It's how strongly I feel about it. But we're letting a Muslim run New York City, as if we haven't had bad experiences in that very city in the past, with the 9/11 terrorist attacks and stuff like that. So, I don't know, it's crazy. I hope everything goes well, but it probably won't. But it's honestly crazy to me. I can't believe that this is happening, to be honest. I don't know what is happening to our country. And speaking of that, I don't know what's happening to the people of this country and my fellow Americans. Saw this story a couple of days ago. I was scrolling through Instagram. I follow the TPUSA EW account, and Gabe Saint, the president of that, met him. Great guy. He's helped a lot with getting the KW chapter up and the NC chapter, and just a great guy. Really smart. Was a friend of Charlie Kirk's, so he told people some stories about him, and he's overall a great guy. And it sickens me that people would blame what's coming up, when I'm about to talk about, on them. So on Halloween at the University of Wyoming, there was an incident where people woke up and started walking on campus, and there was pumpkins there, carved pumpkins, not just carved pumpkins, but carved pumpkins with Nazi swastikas on it. Not one just said Nazi, and just a bunch of other terrible stuff. And people weren't happy about it, obviously. I mean, who would be, right? And then this is crazy because I didn't even hear about this, which I'm surprised I haven't. But the UW chapter for TPUSA, sorry, I can't talk tonight. I don't know what's happening. But the chapter for TPUSA had to make a statement on social media and be like, we are not involved with this at all, because people are just blaming them automatically without knowing what was happening. They posted a post somebody said, and it was like, something tells me this has TPUSA and Gabe Saint written all over this. Sounds like something they would do. Nazis like them need to be shot on the spot, like we used to do. Wow, that is insane. When I saw that, I was sickened. I was disgusted, sickened, whatever you want to say. I was not happy either. I wanted to post way more about it, but I just, let it go. Posted one thing about it, my opinion on it, and just let it go. But I'm going to rant about it. This is disgusting that somebody would automatically assume that it was TPUSA to do this when, turns out, it wasn't. Hello. It was the student body or student. They were testing the waters of free speech and stuff like that. And it's crazy. I don't really care about that part. I mean, obviously, you're going to get backfire. It's going to backfire when you, carve Nazi swastikas and carve Nazi into pumpkins and a bunch of terrible stuff. So obviously, I don't know what they were thinking with that. Oh, we're testing waters of free speech. Okay, well, you gotta be prepared for the backfire. Because, sorry, it was a stupid idea. But I'm just sickened about people just blaming it on the TPUSA automatically without knowing it. They got death threats from people. They even had to post about that, saying they were getting death threats from people. And that they need anybody that is getting death threats or have heard about death threats towards their people in their TPUSA and Gabe Saint and everybody like that, to report it to the police. And it was just insane. Like, death threats for this. It's for something they didn't even do. And just to assume they did it. And that's what's the problem with this world, is they're attacking Christians and conservatives again. You know what I mean? And it's disgusting. And I'm just going to say it's really disgusting, especially, being a Christian, being a conservative myself. a proud conservative and a proud Christian. I'm proud of being that. I wouldn't want to be liberal or Democrat. I love my Christian and conservative values, and I will always stick by those because it's what I think and what I believe in, and that's how it should be. This is just disgusting. I don't really have much to say except that. And I say this all the time, and I'm gonna say it again. Look at it. Look at this. Look at everything that's happening in the world right now. Okay. Charlie Kirk, rest in peace. Rest in peace to him. Great guy. I've said it many times before, so I'm just gonna keep it short. But when Charlie Kirk got shot, it stunned the world. I'm not gonna lie, I was stunned. And I'm even gonna admit, I heard of his name, watched his videos, but wasn't really into him. I watched the videos when they popped up. I heard of him and stuff like that. And I liked what he was doing. I just wasn't really big into politics at that point because I was scared to be. If I'm being honest, I was scared to be into politics because I was afraid I was gonna get attacked or just threatened and stuff like that. So it was really scary to do that. And then when he got shot, it shocked me. I was mad. I was angry. What made me even more angry, though, is when people were saying, I'm glad he's dead. He deserved to die. Disgusting, again. And that's just the difference. I'm going to say it. That's the difference between the conservative and the Democratic parties. The liberals and the Republicans. That's the difference right there. And we're the crazy ones because, we want the right, one of our amendment rights to own guns. And we're the crazy ones. But they're the ones against guns and that they, can kill people. But then they're the ones that use guns the most against people, to kill people, to hurt people, to harm people, whatever. They're the ones that use it the most. So it's crazy. They always, and that's how they've always been. I'm just going to say it. They always preach something, but then they never play what they're preaching, or practice what they're preaching. They're all about, we're all equal. We should all love each other. But they're the first ones to hate. And I'm just going to say it. They're the first ones to hate on people. I'm not saying all of them do, but most of them I talk to, I bring up one thing about Donald Trump, or one thing he's doing good, or one thing about, abortion, trans, stuff like that. I get attacked. Oh, you're evil, you're homophobic, you're racist, you're Nazi. Go Heil Hitler, stuff like that. Whoa, okay, just said one thing. And that's just the difference right there. People ask all the time, well, what's the difference? That's the difference. It is. And they riot and we pray. That's the difference. When Charlie Kirk got shot, we didn't go out there, we didn't vandalize, we didn't kill people, we didn't vandalize companies, vandalize restaurants, set things on fire, beat up people, try to attack policemen. No, we prayed. We had rallies and we prayed. And that's just the difference right there. I'm going to say it. That's just the difference. I know I'm repeating myself a lot, but I don't know how else to say it. That's just the difference right there. They're the first ones to pull the trigger, and we're the first ones to pray. And honestly, it's just, this world is going insane. I want to do everything I can to help this, especially help this country, because I think it is suffering a lot. And this is a great country, the best country in the world, and I will always believe that. But right now, I feel like it's going downhill, which is sad. It really is. But anyways, yeah, that's my opinion on all that stuff. Let's move on to some sports. I'm going to have to cut this one a little short because I'm already way over the time limit. That's okay. We got talking about stuff, and that's good because that's what we're doing on this show. But let's get into some sports. Not much happened. LSU lost to Alabama with my teams. Cowboys had a bye week, so we still lost the bye week because we always do. but our defense still gave up 40 points on a bye week like they always do. We played the Raiders this week, and so help me, if we do not beat the Raiders, I just give up. I give up. There's no way we let Geno Smith, with our defense, we'll probably let Geno Smith drop 500 yards on us and have his career game against us, 5 touchdowns. I'm calling it right now. Geno Smith will have 5 touchdowns and 500 yards against us because our defense is just so bad. It's just how bad. And Jerry Jones just sitting up in that office just like, oh, it's okay, we're okay. I have my opinions about Jerry Jones. I'll keep that for another episode. But Gonzaga doing good. Beat Oklahoma on Saturday. Warriors 5-6. Yeah, 5-6. Really sad what is happening. But Curry was out for 3 games, so I'll throw that out there. But we need to get our stuff together. And Draymond's love Draymond to death. Or I don't know why I said to death, but I love Draymond. One of my favorite players. But he's like, oh, we're just bad. Well, Draymond, if you didn't get a T every game and a flagrant and just calm down a little bit, then maybe it'd be a little different. But no, went to the Warriors game against Nuggets. Really fun. Had a blast with my dad and my grandpa. That stadium was lit. The crowd was lit. It was so hyped. Even though we lost and Curry sadly wasn't playing because of an illness, it was still really fun. Got to see Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, Buddy Hield, Nikola Jokic play, Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon. They were really fun to watch too. Just extremely fun. The entertainment was fun. I got a picture with the cheerleaders. Posted on my Instagram and stuff like that. If you want to go take a look at that. But yeah, overall, amazing time. I joke with my friends. I'm just like, if all else fails, I'm going to become a mascot. Because Rocky, the Nuggets mascot, makes 6 figures a year. $600,000 a year. Insane, right? And sure, he's the highest paid mascot, and the closest limit is $400,000. But think of that, $400,000 still for being a mascot. I mean, he did do crazy stuff like climb on 3 ladders and take a shot, and held something. Oh, another ambulance on my street. There always is. I feel like every other day there's an ambulance or a fire truck on my street. And it's crazy. But anyways, yeah, it was a great time. Enjoyed it a lot. This week, I'm so hyped too. 2 great Fridays in a row coming up. Because last Friday, I got to go to the Warriors game and stuff like that. It was just a great weekend. And this weekend, it is finally time. First time in 2.5 years. My favorite artist, not probably my favorite artist ever, NF, is dropping his new EP, Fear. This is crazy. I could go in to deep detail of all the lore and stuff, but a lot of you probably won't understand it, and I'll just sound like a crazy person. And plus, I don't got the time for that. I'm already way over my time limit, but that's okay. But this EP is gonna be crazy. He keeps posting so much about it, posting a lot of teasers. Friday can't come soon enough. It's Wednesday. It's almost here, but I feel like tomorrow's gonna be the longest day ever. I'm waking up about 5:45 on Friday morning before I have to go to jazz band to listen to the whole EP. People are like, well, it's only gonna be it's only 6 songs, it's only 30 minutes long. Okay, but I gotta listen to it again and again and again so I can catch everything. And then, the reaction videos. I love watching music reaction videos. I have my favorite channels. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing on Friday. It's gonna be great. I can't wait for it. Here are the songs on it. Fear is the self-titled song on there. Home, Who I Was, featuring MGK, which is going to be interesting. MGK, I like his music. I like a lot of his music. Like the message he puts behind his music. Never really expected him to do a song with NF. There was rumors, but I was like, there's no way. Because their styles are really different. But I think it'll be a good song. I hope. I hope it's a good song. I don't want it to fail. That's the one I'm just ooh. That's a questionable one on there. Give Me a Reason, which he's already pretty much released half of this song already, in a teaser. Maybe he's just fooling us, and that was just a rough draft of it, and he was just putting a rough draft out there, half of the rough draft out there, and he just redid it. That's why he did it, just to put it out there, because he wasn't going to release it anyways. But if he does keep that, it's a fire song, like the half. I'm sure it'll be more fire as the song go. I don't know if that was like the end of the song. He did about half of the song is on the internet. So it's gonna be a fire cool song once that gets out there. Sorry, featuring James Arthur. I don't really know who James Arthur is. I think I've heard of him. I heard he's really good, and it's probably gonna be an emotional song. So I'm looking forward to that one, but not because I don't want to cry. But I probably will with this album. Washed Up, which I feel like that's just gonna be another like just hype one. Washed Up. That's the last song. It's the last song on the album, and I'm gonna listen to it in order because I feel like this one's gonna have more of a story to it. So I'm gonna listen to it in order. Washed Up, it could be a hype song to end the EP. Could just be a throwaway song that he's putting on there. That he's not gonna put on a future album or project. So he's just throwing that one out there, or it could be a really sad song. Nate surprised me tons of times. I thought I knew what the song was gonna be. I was like, oh, it's gonna be a hype song, and it was a really depressing, sad song. I was like, oh, this song might be a little sad. It was a hype song, so you never know with him. He's great at picking names for songs because you never know what you're gonna get. Because he picks names so like, just like you can't really tell if it's gonna be like a hype song because he does hype songs and he does like his lower melodic, slower songs. That hit you in the feels and stuff. And that's great for like everything. Like he's great for every mood. When I want to be hyped, I can turn him on. He has a bunch of hype songs. When I want to be sad, or like when I not sad, but like when I want to get through stuff, when I'm feeling the pressure of life and stuff, I listen to him, and it helps me relieve a lot of my stress. And it has since I was like 11 years old. So this is gonna mean a lot to me because I'll take it. I don't care if it's 6 songs, but first time in 2.5 years, I'll take what I can get from him because I really love him as an artist, as a person. But anyways, I gotta wrap this show up, and of course, we gotta do the Bible verse of the day. Therefore, the verse states, "Therefore, encourage one another and build each other up, just as in fact you are doing." Thessalonians 5:11. I never pronounced that right. I can't pronounce stuff worth crap, but great message in that one. Therefore, encourage one another. Just saying we gotta encourage each other. We're all humans. We should all have each other's back in some way, at least. Even if you're not that person, encourage them. Be an encouraging person. Build up each other. Love that verse. Love that line specifically. Quote of the day, with it being 2 days, because today's Wednesday, it'll be Friday when the EP will already be out. But since it is NF week, as I like to call it, I'm like listening to NF songs like nonstop, watching reaction videos, watching teaser videos, watching all this, people like being hyped about it, going on fan pages, stuff like that, because I'm getting myself hyped for it, more hyped because I'm already like pretty hyped. But we're going to do a quote of the day from an NF song. This is actually from Remember This. It's on his Perception album, 2017. Yeah, 2017. Love that album. Love the song. One of my favorites for sure. But this is a really powerful line in one of his songs. It says, "These people gonna tell you will never make it. Then when you do, they're gonna say they knew you were going places." Powerful line. One of my favorite NF lines ever, actually, that he said in the song. There's so many good ones. It's so true though, because people are gonna tell you you're not gonna make it. You're not. Oh, what are you doing this? You're doing YouTube. You're stupid. You're doing music. That's stupid. You're never gonna make it that. Get a real job. And as soon as you make it to the top and you prove them wrong, they're gonna be like, they're gonna say, "Oh, well, I knew you were going places. I just, was being tough on you because I wanted you to succeed. But I knew you were going places, so you should help me, give me money and stuff like that." That's not the people you want to be around. I mean, it's obvious. It's an obvious thing, but you don't want to be around those people. Always stay true to the people that love you and support you. And support that person the way they supported you. But yeah, we're going to wrap up the show. I yapped a lot in this episode. I'm sorry. Also, but not really sorry, because it's my show. But Thank you to everybody for listening to this episode. Yeah. God bless America. God bless your family and friends. And most importantly, God bless you, each and every one. Peace out.